I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, I have trouble reading her. I've got an email here from a viewer. He's been friends with a woman for a while. I guess when they first met, she was in a relationship with somebody else. I think she was married at the time that they met. And so he continued to be friends, and then obviously at some point, she was single, he was single. And so they started spending a bunch of time together, and one moment she seems to be really into him, and other moments it seems like she just wants him as a friend. And the thing that this guy has got working against him is the fact that he's acted like a friend for so many years with her. And plus it's obvious he's holding back. When I go through the email, you'll see that. He goes out with her, and then the signs are kind of there, and then he waits, and he dithers, and he hesitates too long, and he doesn't make a move. And so it's like, this reminds me of several situations I was in my early 20s. I just didn't know what to fucking do, when to make a move, when not. And so I'm going to go through his email and decipher what's really going on. Is she really into him, or is she not? And so I got a quote that I want to share with you, and then we're going to go through his email. And the quote says, "It's a man's job to be bold, confident, direct, decisive, and make a move physically to escalate a seduction when a woman displays her interest in or her openness to being touched and kissed. Women typically will play with their hair, stand or sit too close to you so they're physically touching you, look at your lips, touch your arm or body with their hand, lean towards you, etc., to communicate their sexual interest and openness to you escalating things physically so you can seduce them successfully. If a man hesitates and dithers continuously on a date or over the course of several dates, when a woman is exhibiting these physical invitations, she will quickly decide that he either lacks confidence, is gay, doesn't know what to do, or that he simply has no interest. Once she makes that determination, her attraction level will drop to the point that she either loses all romantic interest in him, loses respect for him, friend zones him, or rules him out permanently as a potential lover." So he says, "Hey Corey, I don't mind if you use my email on YouTube. Just keep the names out, please." Well, I never use names when I always use Bob or Jessica or Samantha or Sarah or something like that. So I always change the names to protect the innocent. So he says, "I'm writing because I'm having difficulty reading a woman." Big surprise, right? No, it's kind of what I do for a living, dude. "But I've known her for about 5 years, and I always had a crush on her, but she was married, so I settled for being friends. No big deal. She divorced a couple of years back and was dating other men, and she recently became available. I asked her to join me at a concert just before Christmas, more as a friendly gesture." Well, that's part of the problem. That's your intent, friendly gesture. The reality is you had a crush on her all along, and you want to take her out, so you're like, "Hey, let's go to a concert, buddy. That's the problem. Why is a friendly gesture? It's like, well, that's a low-risk way to risk rejection. But the problem is you're interacting like a friend. So he says, "I've known her for about 5 years." Oh, 5 years, dude. "I always had a crush on her, but she was married. So at this concert, she agreed. They went and they had a great time. And as the evening progressed, it seemed to turn more into a date. She was touching me, staying close, bumping into me, etc. Honey, I think you need to get it over with and kiss me right now. You know what? Your lips look so kissable. Why don't you bring them over here and plant a big, fat, juicy, wet kiss on me?" And she looks at you like, "It's okay if you're not a very good kisser. We can practice all night long because I'm a great fucking kisser, and I promise you, you'll be a better kisser after we make out. So grab her and pull her in. Take her hand and say, 'Come here, baby.'" Her attraction level seemed in the 6 to 7 range based on the chart in your book. Well, all the signs are there, dude. The problem is you're dithering and hesitating. She invited me up to her apartment at the end of the evening. In other words, "Hey, you want to come up to my place and maybe, just maybe, as long as you don't talk me out of it, we'll have sex." And then flipped the script once I was inside. She was a busybody all over the house, and when she did not stop to talk, she intentionally sat on the other end of the couch. "Why are you sitting so far away? You can come a little closer. I won't bite. I mean, well, maybe a little later I might bite, but I might nibble a little bit." We had this running joke, or even a bet, if you will, that I'd get her to show me her tits one day. Well, that night she did. Wow, those are amazing. You need to bring those over here and let me motorboat those things. That's what you should have done, dude. You're daring her to show your tits. She's like, hey, release the twins. I ended up leaving without a kiss or even a hug. Oh, man, dude, come on. See, your problem is you're waiting around for her to be the man and give you permission. You dared her to show you her boobs, and she did. Oh, man, that sucks, dude. Probably went home, ran a batch, choked a chicken. She didn't even walk me to the door. She texted me the very next day. Yeah, because it's like, she can tell you're into her, but you're not making a move, and so she doesn't want to risk rejection. That's why she's a busybody. It's uncomfortable. It's a weird, awkward situation, and it's any other guy would have naturally been making out with her when she was bumping into him all the time. This is what happens. You dither and you hesitate, and she starts to think, well, maybe he's just into me as a friend, or maybe he's gay. Maybe he doesn't really like me that way. Maybe I'm reading too much into the situation. That's what she thinks. So in order to avoid that weird, uncomfortable feeling, she busies herself. She heard some music from the concert the night before and texted me to tell me about it. What do I say? Hey, I heard a song and it reminded me of you. Great, let's get together. When are you free? She's reaching out because she obviously wanted to see you again. I still wait an additional 2 days beyond that to ask her out again. Oh, man. Oh. That's all right. I did this shit in my 20s, dude, so don't feel bad. So when I did, she agreed. I mean, it's like she reached out. Remember what I say in my book, if a woman reaches out, you assume it's because she wants to see you and you make a date. They're not going to call you up and ask you out. They're going to say things like, hey, I heard a song and it reminded me of you. She's putting herself into your orbit in hopes that you make a date. That's just what they do. The date was set for a full week later due to both our schedules. That date was tonight. All we did was go together to dinner, to which, again, she invited me up to her apartment. Hey, I might have sex with you as long as you don't talk me out of it again, like you did the last time. Dinner was great. We laughed and joked. I treated her like a brat 10% of the time, joked and bantered, etc. So far, so good. This time, I'm getting really nothing as far as signals go. See, this is what happens. You dither and you hesitate for so long, eventually she starts to make up her mind about it. Because now she's single. All the other guys, since her divorce, are out of the picture, and it's just you and her, and you still don't do anything. I mean, she's not going to, like, put her legs up in the air and go, come on, baby. Come on, big boy, give it to me. It just doesn't work that way. So he says, when we get back to her place, at no point did she get really close or make contact. I did get a back rub out of her. In other words, you asked her for a back rub. It's like, so she's rubbing your back. You asked for the back rub, obviously. You didn't say that, but it's obvious. I got a back rub out of her. So you probably dared her to give you a back rub, and she did that, and say, that feels really good. You know what? My lips need a little bit of a massage, so why don't you give me a lip massage with your lips? That would be fantastic. But as soon as she was done, she hopped up and did the busybody bit some more, doing crap in the kitchen, and switched out the shower head in her bathroom. He says, what the fuck? Come on, man. We ended up talking on the couch for about an hour, but again, her body language facing away from me and not towards me, seeking attention. Again, I left without any real intimate contact. Poor guy. I feel your pain, dude. I've been there, done that, got the fucking t-shirt. I had truckloads of t-shirts from shit like this in my 20s, so. I figure no matter who's screwing up, me or her, you, I probably only have one more chance, if that, to make a move. I'll wait a few days and ask her out again like you suggest, but do you want to come upstairs, the universal code for, hey, let's get physical? Yeah, but you're the one with the penis. You're supposed to penetrate her with your strength. Where did you exhibit strength? At the concert, she's touching you, all over you. You didn't do anything. You get back to her place after that, you didn't do anything. Here, you asked her for a back rub, but you didn't dare her to kiss you. You've got to be the one willing to take the risk and risk rejection. She's not going to do that. She put herself into your orbit, and you're like, doo-loo-loo-loo-loo. Why was she inviting me up and then totally turning the signals off? Because you weren't acting like a man? You weren't acting like you knew what you were doing? Bouncing around the house instead of trying to get closer. Dude, she's a woman. You got to do something. I mean, come on, seriously. She doesn't want to risk rejection. She's the girl, after all. The guy's supposed to be one with the confidence and to go for what he wants. I mean, it's like you dare her to give you a back rub. You dared her to show you her boobs. Which she did both of those. That shows she's flexible. That shows she's compliant. The one thing you were just too scared to do was to dare her to kiss you. And if that would have happened, well, maybe the general would have stood at attention. She would have seen the bulge in your pants. And remember, read my book 10 to 15 times. I go through the seduction process in there, dude. What's happening is you're dithering and you're hesitating because you're afraid of being rejected. And you know, it's obvious from her behavior, so was she. All the while, mind you, I've got her best friend telling me that she's straight up saying she wants me inside of her. Hello, McFly. How more obvious can this situation be? You got to be a man. You got to make the move. I'm so confused, man. Well, good. You know what it means when you're confused? It means you're about to learn something. And hopefully by this point in the video, you definitely learned something. Is she just waiting on me to make a move? And I need to quit being a pussy? Yeah. If she wants me to make a move, why wouldn't she send out stronger signals once I'm actually in her home? Come on, man. Seriously? You did not just ask me that. It makes no sense. I know there's probably thousands of other guys going, oh, I would love to be in a situation like that. Jesus Christ, it's so fucking obvious. Dude, you read my book. She's not going to just strip down and bend over her kitchen counter and go, oh, give it to me, stud. Is she just brutally testing me to see if I'll just jump her bones without getting any real signals to see if I have a sack? Pretty much. It's like, she can't do everything, dude. Sex has to be your fault after a while. If you read my book, you know sex has got to be the man's fault. I'm lost here, man. Please help. Your book is awesome. I've read it 3 out of the 10 to 15 times so far. You may have read it 3 times, but the bottom line is you're bitching out on what it says because you're afraid of getting rejected. And it's like, you got evidence. Her best friend is saying, hey, dude, she wants to fuck your brains out. She wants you deep inside her. She wants your cock. And she's giving you signs that I talk about in the book. And I pointed out all these signs. So at this point, I would do nothing. I wait to hear from her. And when you do, make a date. Invite her over to your place. You've known this girl for 5 years, so there should be no reason why she wouldn't want to come over. Hey, great to hear from you. I'd love to see you. When are you free to get together? Tuesday? Great. You know what? Why don't you grab a bottle of wine or that coffee we had last time or your espresso machine? Come on over and we'll make dinner together. Simple. Hang out, have fun, and hook up at your place, dude. It's pretty that's pretty fucking obvious, bro. The only thing she's not doing is getting naked and grabbing your cock and kissing you. Now, there are some women that will do that, but it's like most of them are going to do what this woman does. I mean, that's pretty fucking obvious, you got to admit, and I pointed that out. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse any longer. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I shall talk to you soon.